What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. So today we're going to take a look at an Anthem boycott, and it's kind of a funny situation. We're going to go over what's happening there, and apparently I've been participating in the boycott this whole time without even realizing it, mostly because I've moved on from Anthem at this point. Also, we saw a rating for Castlevania, a collection, and this might finally be the game that is going to show up on the Switch, a Castlevania game that some of us have heard about for over a year now. This could finally be it. As always, guys, enjoy these videos, hit the like button, it really helps out. We're going to start today with Spyro in the Reignited trilogy, because one thing that was missing from it, as you may remember when I did a video on it, and I know everyone else seemed to point this out, the lack of subtitles, which is a very odd thing to not have in a game, when that, of course, helps people who cannot hear, for example, and they like to turn on the subtitles, or maybe you don't really listen to the games when you play them, you just like to read the text on the screen. That is a thing, but what was weird was Spyro didn't have them. When I was checking it out, I noticed there was no option for them, and nothing would come up on screen. Very weird. Well, it looks like they're actually going to be adding that in a patch. That's update 1.03. That's going to be adding the option for subtitles. You can turn them on and off. So in cutscenes, for example, they will play. Then they're also adding the ability to turn motion blur on and off as well. It's like 500 megabytes, and it's actually already out. So if you haven't put the game in a while, you can check it out, check out the update, see the subtitles and everything, and you can turn motion blur on and off. It's good that they've done this, but it's baffling why it's taken so long. That should have been something that should have been there like day one. Again, seems to me that would be something that would be maybe added into a game at launch unless it was rushed. And based on everything around this game, it did feel very rushed based on not all the games being on the disc, for example, subtitles and everything else. Also, if you've been looking forward to the next Borderlands game, and I'm talking about like the pre-sequel or Tales from the Borderlands, you're looking for the next numbered Borderlands, Borderlands 3. Well, you're going to want to pay attention to PAX East, because the teasing has now begun from Gearbox themselves on their official Twitter account that you're seeing the tweet here, where it says March 28th, Boston. Yes, that is where PAX East is going to be, and we've kind of heard from Gearbox they're going to have an unannounced game there, and most of us thought, okay, this has to be where Borderlands 3 is going to be, and it seems like all signs are pointing to yes. Several of the console manufacturers like Xbox, Microsoft, for example, has even kind of subtweeted that with a bit of teasing on their own. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be seeing Borderlands 3, which is great for fans of the series based on what Randy Pitchford's been kind of doing in his free time, which seems to have mucked up the situation, I think, as well as others with the announcement of this. But it looks like PAX East attendees are at least going to see the next Borderlands. I'll be curious if it's playable, and I'll also be curious if it's coming out this year. I think that'd be great if it comes out in the holiday to get a whole new Borderlands game. Some people have been waiting since, 2012 when Borderlands 2 came out for the next one, and it seems like it's about time to have that one come out. And we've been talking about Google for a little while now, with them seemingly entering the gaming world. It looks like that is happening. Obviously, you've heard about them at GDC, where they invited all of the gaming press, but that really wasn't supposed to be known about to that degree, because remember, they sent out the invites and then people in the press kind of put it out there, and then it was updated on the GDC's website. Well, Google has made it very official now, because they put out an actual teaser trailer for them being at GDC. That's right, they put out basically a movie trailer for them being at the Game Developers Conference, which is funny, but kind of telling. In fact, if you watch that trailer, it looks like they are kind of getting people hyped and excited. And something I noticed about that trailer, it was a very serious tone. Like, you're seeing some of it here, and it wasn't all bright and colorful or anything. And then at the end, it was just like this white G that kind of flickers in and then goes away. And this apparently is happening March 19th, and it's going to be happening at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and they are getting this ready. There's actually a full stream you can go get ready for now. You can set a reminder. It's like, 5 days from now, but they already have it up. We're going to see some interesting stuff. I'm hoping we do see their console, but it seems like streaming is pretty much a given at this point, game streaming. But would they really invite all of these people, the gaming press there, to show off a streaming service, one that some of us have already used with Project Stream? I don't think so. I think there's going to be hardware there. and I think we're going to have to pay attention to it. And I'm also going to look around to see if I can find out any more information about Google's streaming device or their hardware, their console, or games and publishers that they're working with ahead of time. And guys, some of the quick news out of the way, let's get into the bigger stuff. And we're going to start with Anthem because Anthem's been a whole mess at this point. There was a patch that came out and people found out that if you start moving your items, you're actually stronger than if you had your items equipped. They keep trying to fix the game, but then they end up breaking it somewhere else. I mean, I guess that's a live service for you, but it seems like Anthem, I guess, wasn't ready to come out. It's hard to say, but something that people have not been happy with is the lack of loot that is dropping now. And I mean, we're to the point now where it's taking hours and hours and hours to get a legendary item, and it might not even be the item you want because the stats are all different when they drop. See, before this patch, well, people were getting them much more frequently, so it was a bit more rewarding and fun, and you were getting items constantly, whereas now, I've even seen Mike Ybarra tweet that it took 10 hours before he got a legendary item, and if he's saying that, who's really enjoyed the game, you know there's an issue there. Sure, it's a looter shooter, but you should get more loot, or at least rewarded for your efforts, basically playing the same mission over and over again than they are right now. It's really tough. So what are they doing? Well, according to this Reddit post here, they're actually organizing a boycott. And it's one that I've been participating in, like I said before, because I haven't really turned my system on to play this game. I've mostly been playing Devil May Cry, but they're apparently they're not going to be playing from March 11th to March 15th. So basically this week that we're in now, they're just not going to be playing at all. And the idea here is to make a point by really hurting them when it comes to engagement or, of course, their player count, which is what they really judge these live services with. Now, I'll make the argument that Anthem is already in trouble because the Division 2 is actually looking like it's going to be a better game overall. Some early reporting out of it and previews are saying that it is much more frequent with the loot because it's a looter shooter and that's the idea, is to get loot. It sounds like there's a lot more to do in Division 2 as well, and of course, they are playing off of the Division 1, a game that they had a bit more experience with because that also kind of went through its own issues with content and live services. So people are very excited for Division 2. Some are even playing it because they bought the $100, I'm not kidding, the $100 pre-order that got you in a few days early. I'll check it out on Friday, but still, that's not going to help out Anthem. Now people are boycotting it, and I'm curious if this will actually work. Will they notice that their player count has dipped significantly, or will they just not care? See, this happened before with FIFA, and they just didn't care. But this is a bit different, because with FIFA, there's not another soccer game. Sure, there's like Pro Evolution Soccer, but it doesn't have all the leagues and content that FIFA has. This is just a looter shooter. People are going to go off and do whatever. They're going to go to play Division 2. So we'll see what happens here. I would at least expect BioWare and EA to take another look at the rates for these things to drop and kind of fix it up, because if your endgame can't take that amount of loot dropping, it probably means your endgame's kind of shallow. And you know what? I've seen Anthem's endgame, and yeah, it is. Next up, let's talk about Inside Xbox. It aired yesterday, and their biggest announcement technically didn't really have that much to do with Xbox. It was Halo going to PC, which is really cool. The Master Chief Collection is heading to PC, but they also announced Halo Reach is coming to the current Master Chief Collection on the Xbox and to the PC. Did a whole video on that yesterday. You can check out if you want more information about how that's going to work, and Steam inclusion, which is interesting there. But there were a lot of other announcements there, not as big, but still some, and we're going to go over them here as we're kind of going through that, because it has to do with things like Project xCloud, Minecraft, and a few others. A new controller, go figure with Xbox, but let's go through this here. Starting with Minecraft, that's actually going to be available on Xbox Game Pass starting April 4th. I'm actually surprised it's taken this long, because I thought they would have added Minecraft to Game Pass a bit sooner, but I guess they're ready to put it on there now, maybe slowing sales, or who knows. They're all about getting people on the Game Pass. Hey, it's another way to get people there. They had a quick spot for E3 just to say, hey, get ready for E3. Okay, I mean, they're going to be the big ones there, I guess, them and Nintendo, and of course, EA's already technically not going to have their own press conference, so, you know, we'll see from there. They introduced another controller, the Phantom White Special Edition. Actually looks kind of cool, because at the top, you can kind of see through it, and then it fades down into just white. but it's just another controller for Microsoft. I'm more surprised that they don't show us a controller at every Inside Xbox at this point. State of Decay 2 also is getting an update and everything for the Choose Your Own Apocalypse update, which is interesting there. State of Decay 2, for me, kind of fell off, but good to see they're still updating it there. The interesting thing here was Project xCloud was kind of shown. And I'm going to talk about why it was kind of shown, because you're seeing them here. They're attempting to play it. At least there's the guy and then the girl on stage. She's attempting to play it, but the buttons don't really match up, and the inputs with the joystick don't really match up with what's going on screen there. It's a cell phone attached to the Xbox controller, and there are some theories. I believe it's just a staged demo. I think it's just a video basically playing on the phone. I don't think she's actually playing it, because there are a lot of things that can go wrong, of course, on a stage like that with interference and other things around you. I think they had it loaded up and they were like, look, pretend like you're playing. I don't think we're actually going to see Project xCloud until there are public tests that are supposed to happen this year. I thought it was supposed to be early this year, but I guess it's going to be this year at some point. But we have tried Project Stream, like I said before, and now we're going to try out Microsoft's thing on cell phones specifically, and then probably the Switch, your PC, pretty much everywhere else that they can put it. So we'll see there, but I don't think that was a good representation of xCloud. I just think that was just something they had set up and pre-recorded for the stage. And overall, Inside Xbox was good, mostly because of that Halo announcement. If it wasn't for that, there wouldn't have been a lot there, really, to show up for. That Halo announcement really put it over the top, and they did it, like, right away. That was, like, one of the first things they said, so pretty cool to see. Excited for Halo going to the PC later this year, and I guess looking at it, xCloud stuff was cool as well, and then Minecraft on Game Pass. Not a bad show. It actually ended early, too, so cool. It wasn't as long as one of those weird ones where it was, like, 2 hours long of Inside Xbox. It's a bit too long. I think if they can keep it to half an hour to, like, 45 minutes, that's a good time, like a length for Inside Xbox. Next up, let's talk about the UK sales charts. They took a little longer to come out than usual, but we did see our top 10. We also got an idea as to Left Alive, and it kind of makes sense why it's on discount now a lot of places and why PlayStation is trying to get rid of it, especially in Japan, but definitely here as well. Let's take a look at the top 10, and you're going to see, yes, at the top, Devil May Cry 5 crushed at number 1, which is awesome to see. Red Dead Redemption 2 actually jumped up from number 5 to 2. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I don't know what's going on here, but from what I saw even, it's actually passed Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in the UK for this year, and it's up to number 3, so that's still cruising along. That's going to be an interesting thing to see at the end of the Switch's life, just see how many copies Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sells. Anthem fell to number 4, FIFA 19 at 5, Far Cry New Dawn at 6, The Lego Movie 2 video game at 7, Smash Bros. Ultimate at 8, then we have Metro Exodus at 9, and Grand Theft Auto 5 actually sneaks into the top 10. Now you might be wondering, where is Left Alive? Well, it didn't even sell 1,000 copies in the UK during its debut week, and it came in at number 39, which means next week it's not even going to be on the top 40. It didn't go well for that game. Now, I talked about Left Alive before, that it struggled everywhere pretty much. I mean, it had a hard time in Japan, and it's obviously barely making the charts here in the UK, and the advertising that's pretty much dried up right around its release makes sense. Bad reviews. It's a shame, because it was the front mission universe that I think a lot of people wanted to see brought into modern times, but it's not doing well, and I think Square is going to pretty much forget about it. So if you were on the fence about buying it like last week, relax, hang out. It'll probably be like $15 in a few months, and then you can pick it up, maybe even 10. Black Friday, I bet you they'll be trying to get rid of those things for like $10 a pop, no questions asked. So I would hold off. I definitely wouldn't buy it for $60, because soon enough it'll be half price, then it'll be $20 and so on. So relax on buying it now. It's a shame to see it kind of turn out like this, because when I first saw it with, of course, the kind of the Metal Gear Solid artwork and everything, I was excited, and well, it didn't work out this time for Left Alive. Then our last bit of news, let's talk about Castlevania, because this could finally be that Castlevania game that was teased like a year ago for the Switch and all platforms most likely. I think it's going to come to everything. This is a rating that was spotted by Gamatsu, as you're seeing here, and this was a rating in Australia for Castlevania Anniversary Collection, and it's hard to say what will be in this. I would like to think we would, of course, have Symphony of the Night, Rondo of Blood, all kinds of Castlevania games just piled in here. but it's hard to say because they, of course, did Castlevania Requiem last year, and that was like PlayStation 4, and that was about it, and it was only a couple different versions of Castlevania. Castlevania Anniversary Collection from Konami is something that I would like to see happen. It's Castlevania is going to celebrate its 33rd anniversary in 2019, and it makes a lot of sense for Konami to do this because we even heard about their Classics 50th anniversary that they're getting rated as well. Usually when you see a ratings like this, generally it means there is something happening. There's a copy of a game getting rated because it's ready to go. Now, it'll be more interesting when we see this actually get rated outside of Australia, but it tends to be Korea and Australia that usually we see these ratings pop up first. So it could be something that comes out a month from now. It could be an E3 announcement, seriously. I hope this is sooner than that. I hope this is like something that gets released like first half of this year, but we're already in March, so they would have to announce it soon and then release it soon. So maybe it's a digital only thing, maybe. I'd like it to be physical. That would be pretty cool if it had like a full physical release, but I'll take anything Castlevania at this point if they can get it on the Switch, definitely, because that's been completely left out of a series that would be super easy to put on there, and it would probably sell really well, even if it's just on the eShop. Let me know what you guys think about the Castlevania Anniversary Collection and which Castlevanias would like to see on there. Definitely, I think it's got to be Symphony of the Night. That's like the big one that a lot of us remember, but there's a lot of different Castlevanias you could pick from, whether it's like from the Super Nintendo or the PlayStation or even outside of the US. Let me know what you guys think down below. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here for Newswave. If you enjoyed this video, guys, hit the like button. It really helps out. If not, hit the dislike. And make sure you subscribe since we do this every single morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Well, let me know what you guys think about everything we talked about. Let me know about Google's conference next week, definitely, because I'm curious what you think about this now that they've put out a full trailer for them to go to GDC and talk to people about their gaming stuff. Interesting there. And then what about Borderlands 3? Let me know about that, or Anthem's Boycott, definitely. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.